All right, let's talk about first dates. Today, we are cracking the code on first date conversation. We're gonna move past the dating dread, the awkward silences, and break down how you can build a real, genuine connection, one that might actually lead to date number 2.
You know that feeling, right? You're sitting across from someone and it's just question, answer, question, answer. It feels stiff, it's awkward, and you walk away feeling like you didn't connect at all. Well, you're definitely not alone in that. But what if we could just completely change that script?
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're gonna start with why so many first dates feel awkward in the first place. Then, we'll cover the big conversation mistakes you need to avoid. After that, we'll get into the good stuff, how to actually build that connection. We'll even touch on reading body language, and finally, how to lock in that second date. So let's start by getting to the heart of the matter. A truly great first date isn't about having a perfect performance or just trying to fill every second with noise. No, it's all about finding a real, human connection. And first things first, let's get this out of the way. As clinical psychologist Dr. Sabrina Romanoff points out, it is completely 100% normal to have those pre-date jitters. The goal isn't to be a robot with no nerves. The goal is to just move past them and find some common ground with the person sitting across from you. And here is why that effort is so worth it. A survey from the dating site Plenty of Fish found that a massive 87% of singles found someone more attractive after a good conversation. Think about that. That's huge. It proves that what you say and how you say it can literally physically change how attractive someone finds you.
Okay, so if we want to have that kind of game-changing conversation, we've got to know what to avoid. Before we get to all the green flags, let's talk about the big red ones. Seriously, just knowing these common pitfalls is your best defense against a date going sideways.
So what are the absolute biggest no-nos? Well, according to dating coach Anna Morgan and therapist Susan Trotter, 2 of the worst things you can do are talking about exes and oversharing. Bringing up an ex just screams, "I'm not over my last relationship." And trauma dumping, unloading really heavy personal stuff, it can make your date feel like they're your therapist, not a potential partner.
So, what if the topic comes up? How do you handle it? It's all about the reframe. This is a perfect example. Instead of saying something heavy like, "I'm still heartbroken," dating coach Anna Morgan suggests a brilliant pivot to the future. See how that works? It keeps the focus on what's next and on getting to know each other, not on unpacking old baggage.
And beyond those 2 big ones, experts from places like Very Well Mind warn about these other connection killers. Things like making little judgmental comments or, talking only about yourself. Love bombing with a ton of fake-sounding compliments is another one. And of course, dominating the whole conversation or bringing up sex way too early. These are all surefire ways to kill the vibe.
Okay, enough of what not to do. Let's talk about the green flags. What are the skills that actually build that chemistry and create the spark we're all hoping for? Let's get into it.
The foundation for all of this is a skill called active listening. Research from Number Analytics defines it like this, but really, it's pretty simple. It's not just hearing words. It means being totally present, totally engaged in showing the other person that what they're saying actually matters to you.
So, how do you do it? Well, the Dating Matters program breaks it down into 3 really simple but powerful steps. First, and this is the hard part, listen without interrupting. Just let them finish. Second, ask a follow-up question that goes deeper on what they just said. And finally, recap it. Say something like, "So it sounds like you really loved that trip because..." It shows you were actually listening, not just waiting for your turn to talk. And this quote from Taylor Davies just nails it. Follow-up questions are your secret weapon. They are literal proof that you're paying attention. It shows genuine curiosity, and let me tell you, that is incredibly attractive. Okay, so the pressure's on. You know you need to ask good questions, but
Which ones? Which questions actually get you out of that boring small talk and into a really fun, engaging conversation?
Well, experts from magazines like Brides and sites like Very Well Mind say the key is to ask open-ended questions, not stuff they can answer with a yes or no. Try some of these. Questions like, what's your go-to karaoke song? Or, if you had to give a TED Talk, what would it be about? These invite stories, they invite passion. You learn who they are, not just what they do for a living.
But of course, it's not just about the words you say, right? So much of connection is unspoken. It's in the nonverbal cues. The vibe can tell you way more about how a date is going than the conversation itself.
And what's really cool about this is how simple it is. Dating coaches from sources like WikiHow and Talkify all say the same thing. Look at this. Crossed arms, avoiding eye contact, being turned away, that's closed off. It signals discomfort. But open body language, leaning in, facing you, making eye contact, that's a universal sign of interest and attraction.
So what are the really specific green flags to watch for? Well, research shows that smiling, especially big, genuine smiles, goes way up with attraction. And watch for mirroring. If you pick up your drink and they pick up theirs, that's a huge subconscious sign of rapport. Even tiny things like their pupils getting bigger when they look at you or nodding along as you speak, it all means they're feeling a connection.
Okay, so you did it. The conversation was amazing, the body language was all green flags, and you're feeling pretty great about it. Now what? Now comes that final, crucial step. How to actually lock in that second date.
Here's the deal. Don't play games, don't wait 3 days. Dating coach Anna Morgan advises sending a simple, direct follow-up text. And this one is pretty much perfect. Why does it work? Well, it's specific. You mentioned something you actually talked about. It's polite, and it clearly states your interest. There's no ambiguity, just confidence. Ultimately, everything we've talked about comes back to this one idea. As the Dating Matters program puts it, healthy communication is a balancing act. It's about making sure you feel heard, but just as important, it's about making the other person feel heard, understood, and respected.
So, if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. Stop trying to perform and start trying to connect. The real secret to a great first date isn't about having all the perfect lines memorized. It's about being the person who actually, truly listens. So the only question left is, are you ready to listen? Good luck out there.